Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Inkbound daily. Today is the solo daily for August 30th, and just as a little bit of a forewarning, you guys probably may have noticed it if you are watching videos in succession. I got some feedback from Curse Royal down in the comments of the last video that a common problem that they have is that the volume is way too low, and they always have to turn it up, which is great feedback. Thank you very much for that, Curse Royal. But I don't know exactly how I can solve that. I know, obviously, I could boost the gain of the microphone from my OBS to technically increase all volume. The issue is that will literally blow out my ears. And I won't be able to edit it in the back end. And I have all my settings like super low, which might be part of the reason why I'm like, okay, this sounds great, but then when I ship it, it's probably also like very low. But otherwise, I can't increase the capture of my microphone anymore, and technically the game audio is a little bit lower, but that's so that you guys can hear me over the gameplay audio. So what we are going to do is we are going to, after I'm done editing the video, before we render it, I'm going to increase the volume of the video by 50%. Next video, which is tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to increase the volume of the video by 100%. Let me know down in the comments any feedback you got. If it's too loud, if it's still not loud enough, I still want to see it, and we're going to work through this as well as we can, because apparently it's not something I'm hearing over on my end. Thank you very much for that. Now, going into the daily, today we are playing Obelisk in, I believe we start in Silent Promenade, and then we're going into Garden's Edge. So one of our boons is that we start with Chalice of Champions and Alchemist Tool Belt. This is very good growth for us. This should give us, it'll give us 7 due to just combats themselves. And considering potions that we're going to find along the way, like you generally have somewhere around like, I don't know, 6 in a typical run. 2 fish. It's going to be about 15 ability power, give or take. Actually, is this worth 1 or 2? I'll have to take a look at that. But we should get 15 hits on this in a normal setting. With Pilfer, we can get more consumables with an Ascension. You can also get more consumables with a specific Sea Breach event, but I wouldn't consider that worth going out of your way to a Sea Breach in order to maybe get like another 3 consumables. Not quite worth it for me. Pilfer, on the other hand, maybe. We have a deficit on the end of turns. Enemies lose all stacks of burn, frostbite, poison, and bleed. Someone mentioned that this isn't working. I think that's because it doesn't work on bosses. One thing that you need to keep in mind is that there is a very big distinction in this game, especially with a lot of the mods, of enemies and bosses, which is guardians and villains. And then, of course, we have enemies deal plus 100% damage and take plus 50% damage. Pretty spooky. But we are Obelisk in this match, and Obelisk has, I'd say after the Star Captain nerfs, this patch, you might be able to argue that they have the best AoE in the game. Probably not. The Star Captain nerfs honestly weren't that big a deal, in my opinion. All they did was reduce the AoE of Cryoclasm and reduce the damage of drones barely, and move some augments around that weren't even, I don't know, in my opinion, they weren't even being used. So the shield on hit one was, but it went up to rare, which most people get their rare, their shielding at rare. Anyways, I'm diverting a lot. We need to make sure to kill enemies, but with 50% extra damage taken, Obelisk can take this quite a ways. And so by killing all the trash mobs, we don't have to necessarily worry about taking damage from those, which is where a majority of your damage usually comes from. Obviously, there are heavies that hit you for like a lot of damage, That's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on our single target damage. And if we're not able to use burn, frostbite, poison, bleed off of the turn that we apply it, then we need to figure out a way to do chunky damage. Well, chunky hit damage is basically what I'm trying to say. Crit Obelisk is great. We could technically pivot into Crush. We got some options here. We have Blessing of Quills. I don't like this, but at least it gives us glyphs so that we can spend some glyphs. I've been doing a lot of research on Blessing of Quills. I don't think it's as bad as I originally made it out to be. Moss Spyglass is pretty good. Scattered Samples is interesting since we're actually going to have a lot of potions. And then, of course, Braced Belt is just tanky, but I don't think that we necessarily need Braced Belt. Moss Spyglass is good single target, which, again, trying to solve heavies and bosses. And then Scattered Samples. Being able to turn any potion into a will in 20 movement when we have to use, like, we're literally going to be forced to use consumables. And that's another, like, hidden thing about having this combination, which can happen in the normal game, but obviously they're giving it to us for free, is when you have so many potions, you get to use a potion every fight. And potions can actually swing quite a few, like, fights in your favor, depending, of course, on the potion. I think both of these are very good. It's just a question of what can we use better. Double damage once or Scattered Samples. Technically, Scattered Samples is better for us right now. But Moss Spyglass, if we end up getting Grasp or Lightning Bolt, that could start feeding into our single target damage. I think I may regret this, but I think I'm going to choose to believe here. Actually, we're going up against Runestone. We really should take Scattered Samples. Because getting out of the way of all those AoEs with base movement is kind of suffer. So this would definitely help resolve that. I don't know. We're going to take Scattered Samples. Alright, what am I seeing here? I like Massive Slam. I don't like putting Shatter on something that costs 2 will, because then you don't get a lot of follow-up on it. Now, if you Crush, then Shatter is going to help your Crush, but that's kind of like the only instance there. Oh wait, this is a +2 up tier. For whatever reason, I didn't see that. I was just about to talk about how this is way too early, but no, this is just a really good up tier. But like I was going to say, it's really hard to put it on baseline Shield Bash. Hardened Ironclap, also very good. Obelisk, generally speaking, I don't mind just literally throwing all my whites into Ironclap to fill it up so that I can put purples in these 2 skills or anything else that I may have drafted. It's definitely, like, adds up a lot. It's a lot worse after the buff at the beginning of Season 2, because now we deal 30 damage in a wide cone instead of just 10. So we're only increasing our damage by about 30% or 33%. But that's how much other characters' White Augs generally increase their damage. So if anything, we just got bank error in our favor. And then, of course, Massive Seismic Slam is very huge for actually, like, finishing the entire screen of, like, small enemies, which in combination with Paper Tigers is probably going to do, like, a lot of heavy lifting. I think that we can get behind that. Massive Seismic Slam is just great. Otherwise, I don't usually feel like re-rolling those. I believe Shield Bash gets increased distance, which is good. And Ironclap gets What does it even get now? I don't remember. I usually just put the plus 10 on it. It used to be 10% chance to gain, or 20% chance to gain an additional shield, but then they changed that and then moved it up, and bleh. Vengeful Infusion is great here. Okay. Typically with the Obelisk, I try not to use Seismic Slam if possible on the first wave, because I want to have access to it the next wave, and with a cooldown of 4, there's just no way that you can be able to do that. Especially on Fight 1, it's kind of important to have access to your... Can we just get this with Crush? Yes. We're crushing it. Okay, I'm not actually sure that I want to use Seismic here either, because 2 hits is just less and gets us closer to a Crush. I don't know. This is technically worth it. I think we're actually in a spot of trouble here. We'll be fine, though. Because this guy's going to kill himself on Thorns now. They gave us an Unstable Brute. That'll help with the money pot. We really don't have any spikes going on. They're probably trying to tell us that they're going to give us spikes later. Frostbite damage, again, I'm not really considering here. So you might say, okay, let's go ahead and use Blessing of Quills in order to reroll these. It's, generally speaking, not going to pay off. I'm going to do it. But the one thing that I've noticed with doing this, and this one's actually a pretty good payout, so I'm going to eat my words, I guess. The one thing I've noticed with this is that we also have to visit an extra carver. That's Suffer. Good thing I looked. Honestly, just give me some physical power. I really like the shielding, but just getting more damage is also great. I'll take increased range, actually. That's very good for us. Anyways, generally speaking, the average stat line isn't good, because when things normally roll, you're just picking the best of whatever option there is. So even if there's a high rarity option, doesn't mean that it's one that you want. Like, if I would have gotten a high rarity poison damage, I'm probably not taking it. Just saying. Smoke Bomb is absolutely incredible. I really like that. And Pilfer, again, we could sort of like lean into this getting more consumables and just using all of our consumables every fight, because we can pilfer one and then we drop one from Alchemist Tool Belt, and that'll allow us to scale like hella quick. But I think we might go with Smoke Bomb. We might go with Pilfer. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little freak like that. Okay, so we're going to go to this Tethered Shrine. Reason why we're going to this Tethered Shrine is because, due to Blessing of Quills, we're going to get a glyph. And I want to re-roll the first Ascension, because I just want to make sure that I get something that's good. If it's Pilfer, the ability to actually like get more items, that's great. But also, if it's the Seismic Slam that just adds tons of crush, or if it's a Shield Rush, or even something like Impulse, I don't want to get stuck with something that I can't use. Otherwise, I think Hovel's probably a good option here. Get another green vestige here. And of course, since we have Pilfer, you can also re-roll it and try for a better rarity. Anyways, like I said, I've been doing a lot of testing on Blessing of Quills. Like, I've primarily been playing it exclusively. I will not be distracted by beautiful celebrities. And I've been grinding up to tier 20 while actively throwing as much glyphs, quillings, and whatever at rerolling everything that I can just to get data points. So the fact that I'm still climbing tiers means that obviously it's viable. I just don't think that it's good. Like, at all. Let's give ourselves a little bit of juice. I much prefer that. Yep. We'll take that. Before we destroy you, let's go ahead and steal from you. Oh my good lord, we have so much damage. Of course, we're going to lose all that because of Unstable Brew. But we shouldn't need it for... Yeah, we don't need it for these guys. Are you kidding me? This little chump change here. Okay. Let's make sure to get our... I think what I honestly want to do is charge back in. But I don't think that I can do that and hit this man. I can. And I will. And our range is so long we can just snooch on in here and get this man. He's done. And this is the last wave, so we just do this. That simple. Another Vengeful Infusion is nice. Verdant Sprout is good for securing our HP output. Gaining 1 physical power per turn is absolutely garbage on us right now. I might honestly... I'm feeling very good about Verdant Sprout. Otherwise, I would feel relatively good about re-rolling here because we have Pilfer. Okay, we still have to kill the money pot. If I want to re-roll, I cannot re-roll this. I would also be very upset if it didn't give me anything. So we'll just take the 1 physical power and run. I know I said something about not liking using Shatter on like something with 2 cost, but I'm kind of hoping that Seismic Slam becomes a thing. That said, we could also just become very defensive since we have increased AoE and take Shielding Ironclap and become bulletproof. That said, enemies in like Book 3 are still going to punch through our shields, so that's not really appetizing. It might just be Quicken Shield Bash, and then we really hope that we get Shield Rush. Or is it Battering Ram? I keep forgetting, because they have 2 of them that are the exact same, like, pretty much. It's Shield Bash and Shield Ram? I don't know. And in this fight, we're going to go ahead and test something. They... Well, actually, hold up. Let me make sure that these patch notes are actually out. And it's not tomorrow. On August 30th. Okay, these are out. So, I like Blink. I really like Blink. I don't know. Maybe we're supposed to go a little bit crazy here. Finally eat our broccoli. You guys know I hate eating broccoli. But it could be our single target, right? Okay. I'll tell you what. Study a Wind Song. That's pretty good. Get in my pocket. So, they recently added the ability to control left-click things in combat that's like orbs or you know, cultivate to not get the "you're not close enough" prompt. And you can also control click from the floor to eat crimson like fish, to just immediately eat them. So I'm wondering if they missed an interaction and will be able to eat this off the floor during combat. Not while in combat. I can chomp in your ear though. That your ASMR hit? Alright. So they got it. Not that. I want to use as little movement as possible to get you, because you're going to die. Come back. Get this power orb. Let's go ahead and place this here first. And then let's put ourselves like right frickin' here. I want to hit everything. We're going to take some damage. I'm ready for it. I guess we get a little bit more movement. Doesn't really matter. And so now we're going to phase him here, which is good. Would have preferred to have phased him last turn, but what are you going to do? And so now we have an extra orb here. Cultivate is going to give us 3 will. We should get him this turn. And all it cost us was a little bit of damage that we're going to heal out of the well anyways. So, who cares? Not this guy. Oh, let's go ahead and steal from you. We'll get paid. There we go. Pick that guy back up. Okay. Mushroom also gives us ability power. Crop Harvest heals us. I don't think that we really need to worry about healing. We specifically went out of our way, though, so that we could reroll this. There we go. I definitely like the idea of Impulse. Slam is also relatively good, but you really want to have like good stacks of Crush before you start going into stuff like that. And I don't particularly care for it, at least in this build. Slam is great when it's your like second or third ascension, not your first. So we're going to take Impulse because it just works and is better. And then we're going to take another stack of Crush. Charge Shield Bash is interesting. Definitely makes this button worth using. And if we do end up getting Battering Ram, which reduces the cost, and then we also reduce the cost, then you've got a free 1 cooldown, like hecka damage, crushing movement skill, and it really pops off. But we're not here for that. We are going to crush things ourselves. Because, you know, guaranteeing that you crush something every single time is good single target. Alright. So I also admit that I've not been entirely forthcoming with all the information about Blessing of Quills. I guess I have, since I technically made a YouTube community post beforehand. The one thing that this vestige is really good at is if we get to the Elite Vault, which is the Chapter 3 fight, it always gives you purples, at least. If you re-roll that chest, you will be pretty much guaranteed to get a legendary on all of the rolls. The only reason why I say pretty much guaranteed is only because we want to go to our heroic vault. I just want to not be wrong. But otherwise, I have never not gotten it. You know what? Just go ahead and use that. It doesn't give us a buff, but it's not like we have room for it anyways. Okay. Interesting that that's critting. Anyways. There we go. am I? Oh, because you attack now. That's right. That's right. And so next turn, I'm probably going to use this guy. We can solve most of this with a good old shield bash. Leave that orb for next time. This is the final wave. Use Unstable Brew just for the heck of it, and smash. We got a Disintegrate, great for the pot, and a Flask of Serendipity, great for us. We're going to try and save that for Nim. Okay, so I actually like all these. Because this is basically 2 mana cost, or 2 will per turn. So long as we're killing something. Now, granted, during the Runestone fight, this isn't going to do anything. However, I would say, like, pretty much every other time, this is going to reduce the cost of something that we actually want to use. It might hit Pilfer while it's on cooldown. Otherwise, Harbinger's Trophy is good because it's just 3 physical power. And that's all it has to do. Otherwise, we might get some extra physical power out of, like, trash mobs. But again, during the Chapter 3 Elite fight, Runestone, these things don't exist. It would help us with Nim, because the Nim bits have, like, so little health that if we were to Seismic Slam, we'd probably double them and then get more damage for him. I could see that actually being taken in that regard. I'm looking at my Quillings, though, and I'm a little concerned. What the heck's up with this? Oh, we haven't fought the pot yet. No, we're good. Okay. Oh, my good lord. I was considering re-rolling and then looked at how much we had. The only problem is that Harbinger's Trophy isn't going to move the needle for us, because we already have, like, 18 physical power. And it's really... Like I said, it's not going to move the needle much. It's sort of like a rich get richer, but the more power you have, the less you're going to feel more power. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I guess we're just going to take Roots of Reprieve. It'll go off. Of these options, honestly, give me some crit chance. Just because. Prepared Pilfer seems great. That way we don't feel bad about fishing for money. Alright, what's this Ascension going to be? Cataclysmic Slam. Very good. And if we can get the Vestige for +1 Crush, since we kind of like walked past it, because +1 Crush, I believe, is a white AUG for Seismic Slam, then we could just do a ton of damage. If we had CDR, then obviously Earthquake is pretty good, but we do not live in that timeline. So take me to the Tethered Shrine. Oozing Jelly. I kind of want it. Guess I'm going to have to eat it. Kind of unfortunate that our fish ended up there. Honestly, give us more crit chance. Again, we ate an Oozing Jelly, so that's not actually our crit chance. I honestly... So we killed a money pot. And then we're going to have 5. If we want to be protected from the bug... Because again, like, one of these days I'm actually going to test that or have someone test that for me. Until I know that it's fixed, I ain't frickin' with it. Oh my good lord, look at this AoE. It's so beautiful. I thought you no longer... Oh, you're healing, that's why. It's weird that you don't show anything. Anyways. These guys are just dead. Let's go ahead and steal from one of you guys. Did that preview show these guys dying? I'll have to take a look at that. And that's a free Ironclap because of Roots of Reprieve. And now we actually have a free Cataclysm that shouldn't be happening. What? Twice per turn. Or all physical bindings. Oh my good lord. I thought that was only one. That's all. Okay, no, it's worth it. My apologies. We chose the right option. Yeah, we just deal so much frickin' damage. Our physical power going into our crush deals 140. It's not even considered a fair fight, I would say. A barrier potion? I forgot to take potions! Because we were too strong. Alright, you know what? Give me a nice rounded 10 physical power. Sure. Oof. This is rough. A free prepared Ironclap goes a long way. Increasing our overall crush damage is also, like, kinda disgusting. Because this will increase our crush damage by, like, another 100. Yeah, I'll take another one of those. I'm pretty sure they're exclusive, though, unfortunately. We have to visit the Carver. Another Chalice to Champion. At this point, I'm not too sure. Dice of Fates isn't going to roll that much. It could be huge, but I'm really not interested. Let's just re-roll that final vault. Okay, just to use potions. Hold up. I need to know if you guys can hear what's going on downstairs right now. Okay, trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life here. Let's first steal. Cultivate is honestly doing nothing for us in this build. But you know what? We just deal with that. And so now all of our abilities are free. We don't want to use Cataclysmic Slam though, because we want it next turn, just in case. So we are going to Shield Bash, come up here a little bit. I want to hit this. Got Shield Bash again. But I still don't think that it's better than... Yeah, it's not better than Impulse. That's kind of funny, to be honest. Got that good mark? Okay. At least it's going to crit here. So we are going to kill these bits. Hit you with that. Hit you with this. Give me my power orb, please. I'll take an elemental ale. That does something. There's battering ram. We just crush all the way down. I love it. And now suddenly it's worth our energy because it deals 480 at a baseline and crushes almost twice. I really don't care about stealing a vestige. I really don't... Like, technically giving us a one-cost discount is cool. I don't know, man. Just broccoli. Let's make this skill better. And then maybe we'll re-roll our next vestige, or our next augment. Sorry. We will re-roll this. because chances are it's gonna give us nothing. Okay. Let's keep that for later. I'm gonna try my best to run this pretty quickly. They spawned me in goop. It was very rude. Cannot believe that you have done this. Okay. That is a lot of damage. Holy Lord. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm getting distracted because I'm looking and seeing that you can hear that noise. I'm going to have to try and remember to edit that out. But I probably won't because that's how I am. You know, at the end of the workday, you kind of sometimes just want to go to bed. I don't know why I need other skills. Miser's Purse is free damage, but no, we're going to show this off. Whoa! So good! Wow! We'll be able to pilfer once. If we take Wit's Book of Magic, is that worth it? I don't think so. On hitting, inflict 1 stack of shock is actually like pretty freaking huge. When we hit this hard, 850. Yeah, I think Zephyrian is the way to go. We'll take that. Vengeful, we hates it. I'm not sure I like Vengeful more than these other options. I suppose we might end up in a situation where we're taking damage. It'll do better for us than Elemental Ale, which is just going to fall off. These are Suffer, but we can... Let's make sure we don't reroll these first. Reroll these. Thunderous Ironclap is actually... Dang. Okay, so we did reroll that. We're not going to reroll this just to protect ourselves from the potentiality of a bug. Let's just grab some crit damage then. It does stuff for us. Give me some more money. More money, more problems. What did I get? On your first turn, gain a random disassembly prototype. It gives us some stuff. I really like Heart of the Lifeless, though. It just gives us more damage. Predator's Quintessence honestly has no right... Like, the fact that it's farmable, I guess, is the reason why it's a legendary. This happens way too late. This is a 20% chance of being terrible. It's probably the right move then. It's just... This is going to give us 10 ability power, or we can risk getting 10 ability power. But if we get 4 will, that's much better than 10 ability power for us. You know what I'm saying? We probably also... Well, we can keep scattered samples. I just don't know what we would get rid of for any of this. Yeah, if this gets the crit too, that's huge. Let's just go easy, take Heart of the Lifeless. We're going to take a look at the shop. Tetra Twin is kind of crazy. Moss Mother's Embrace, we could have gone crit Obelisk. Not sure if that's actually good or not, though. Anyways, we don't want any of this. Oh, I guess we get rid of Alchemist Tool Belt. Of course. I am a fool. Now this is a perfect run, right? We're gonna get it this time, for real? I don't think we missed anything. Okay, we're not gonna do any pilfer shenanigans. There's really no reason to. Let's just be safe. Put that sucker down there. Let's reduce all the incoming damage right now. We actually wanted to Ironclap first. I am in shambles. Let's reduce all of our costs. Give us some more move, because we're going to have to get out of this frickin' place. We're not going to get out of this frickin' place. We're going to take some damage. Actually, we have Impulse. We're fine. It ain't nothing. Let's go ahead and steal from this guy just because we can. We're going to take 1 damage. No! Wait, this is perfect. Alright. This guy's already aiming in a rad spot. So this guy already has 2 shocked. Do I just, like, almost murder everything? Hit you again. And then just charge through you, really. Give me my power orb. Corbin Dallas multipass. And then I need more will. I don't think we're getting that. You just deal so much damage because of paper tigers. So if you guys are not taking the same route we are, keep that in mind. Paper tigers make these guys no joke. Because you can't really kill them. So evasion would be a way to mitigate that, or just get like insane amounts of damage elsewhere. Oh my good lord. Like, look at that damage, though. He's cracked 1, but it's mainly because he's taking shocked here, so he's taking double damage with the crush. Oh no, oh no. Oh. It, my preview did say die. So, hold up. Let me get that F8 in there. Hopefully we can get that fixed. Anyway, we might as well just welcome them to the jam. Alright. That one was actually relatively quick. It was only like 44 minutes, despite me having to explain like audio issues and all that stuff. This is indeed a perfect score. We're super late though, so we're definitely not going to be first place. I accidentally returned home because the button was there. We are actually number 1. Oh my good lord. We are able to discuss this. It turns out the way that the leaderboard is scored is you have like some sort of a run ID associated with it, if it's hexadecimal or whatever it is. You can't see that, but it's being sorted by that in order to resolve ties. Now, the devs are also looking into changing that. So, personally, I don't think that it matters. So long as you get a perfect score, I think that they should give you like a flashy medal. Like, not anything that you can wear anywhere, but just like, make you feel good a little bit. But they're also going to try and change it so that everybody who is in first place all has the first place banner and says that they're in first place, right? Like, it doesn't they're not going to have a tiebreaker when they fix it. And then, so long as you get a perfect score, you're going to be up at rank 1. Anyways, hopefully the run was enjoyable, or at least entertaining. And if you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put those down in the comments below. And until next time, we will catch you guys around.